Hello everyone, welcome. I am here to do a reading on your Divine Masculine today, and I want to thank you for tuning in and supporting the conduits. It is a pleasure and an honor to be here to help you on your journey back to Source. You know, we say things like it's your journey back to Source, but in actuality, there is no journey back because you never left. You're still 100% connected. To feel lost is to not recognize that you are still a part of that Source and that that Source exists within you. Your enlightenment is remembering who you are and remembering where you come from. The journey that we go on when we're going through our awakening is not an easy one. It's very confusing. We oftentimes don't know what's good and what's bad, and what we thought was good sometimes starts to appear bad, and what we thought was bad sometimes starts to appear good. And that happens to us because it's helping us to awaken to the duality within ourselves. Our twin flame comes to us for the same reason, because our twin flame is a mirrored representation of that duality. When we end up being faced with, all of our worst fears and things going in a way that we never expected or anticipated with our Divine Masculine, we oftentimes, for years at times, can go through such, troublesome dark night of the soul. But it serves such a valuable and important lesson in our journey. Because if we could find what we were looking for outside of ourselves, we would never be, kind of pushed to go in the other direction, which is where it's the only place that you can find answers is within. And what is it that's within you that allows you to be able to find those answers? It's God. It's Source. Everything outside of you, of course, is a manifestation from God and Source. God is the creator of all things. But it's us who create separation, and it's us who believes that we are disconnected from that or unworthy. We chose to come here in order to experience that. Why? I can't tell you exactly. I don't know if it's the same for all of us. On some level it is. But I think for the individual, it's nuanced, which is why the only place that you'll be able to find the answers that you are seeking is within the self. But then it becomes like a question, like, well, what is the inner versus the outer? If the outer is created from the inner, then why can't we find answers outside of ourselves? Well, the thing is Source can speak to us outside of ourselves through other people, through other situations, through even our own thoughts. But it's through inner discernment, going within, using the compass within you, which is God's Source, which is your intuition, it's your inner discernment, it's your ability to be able to trust that above everything outside of yourself. Then you can relax and be present and fall into the moment, allowing Source, allowing God, whatever you choose to call that. We have many names, but we're all talking about the same thing. We can allow that to be our guide. And when we do that, that's self-actualization. That's when that consciousness within us can kind of take over and peace and joy and love and trust for all of God's creations, whether they fall on one side of the coin or the other, can be appreciated for what they're meant to teach us. Because both sides of the coin are valuable. If we have heads or we have tails, good versus evil, if we see that as duality, which it is, the way we reconcile that, the way we reconcile opposites or duality is by recognizing that God created both. The coin itself is valuable. It doesn't matter if it lands heads up or tails up. It's valuable nonetheless, and you are the one who puts that value on it through your perception. And I want to remind you of that before I start into this reading today. This reading is a reflection of not your future, but your perception. Okay, and your perception is what creates your future. So if you want something different, there's nothing outside of you that can control you. You create your reality. That's what God is intending for you to learn and understand through your awakening process. So at the bottom of the deck today, we have the Hermit in reverse. Oh, and let me get you guys your numerology number. 6 and 1. So you have 7, or you have 61 or 16. May mean something to you. So with the Hermit in reverse at the bottom of the deck, there's an overall feeling in this reading that your divine masculine is experiencing loneliness, maybe some repetitive patterns, a feeling of being stuck, kind of going into a place of self-reflection to maybe understand where this isolation or loneliness is coming from. They may feel that they're repeating a lot of past mistakes over and over again, but they may not understand why. And what it means is that your divine masculine is being put in a place in their journey where they need to go and self-reflect upon choices that they've made, people that they've chosen to spend time with. They may feel like a bit of a victim at certain points in time, as we all do. But your divine masculine is being forced with the revelation and being confronted with that revelation that they are the reason behind why their life has turned out the way that it has. They may have had lots of people in their lives that have done wonderful things for them, or maybe even done some wrong things for them, but they're realizing that throughout all of that, they gave their consent, even if they didn't recognize it at the time, by choosing to remain in the relationship that was no longer good for them, by choosing to, react and respond the way that they did. Our life is an accumulation of choices that we've made along the way, and we are the ones that are responsible for the outcomes. And only when we take responsibility for those outcomes do we start to make progress and change. In recent past, your divine masculine has the energy of 4 of Cups. Okay, now this is the connection between the two of you. This is the karmic situation and the situation between the two of you. So with 4 of Cups in reverse, there's a new outlook, a new direction, and maybe some new options that have shown up for your divine masculine. Maybe some things have happened that are surprising recently. They've been probably at this point going through great changes and maybe have experienced some great loss. However, they are recognizing that in letting some of those things go, or having some of those things removed from their lives, even if it really wasn't what they had wanted or planned for, that it is for their highest good, and that it is going to benefit them because it's going to open new doors, and it's given them wisdom and a perception that they didn't have before. As we go through our ascension, we become more and more aware of, because our consciousness is expanding, we become more and more aware of what we are surrounded by in the present moment. Everything already exists. When God created everything, it was done. right? God rested, it was done, which means any and all possibilities exist already. It's up to you and to your and to your divine masculine as separate individuals to make choices along your path and to tune into those different inner frequencies that align you with infinite potential and what it is that you would want to create and manifest. In the karmic situation, we have Queen of Wands and Page of Swords. So, here, let me get these cards in a better position for you here. Both of these are in the upright. And so with Queen of Wands energy, there's an excitement. There's something going on where the karmic situation that your divine masculine has experienced up until now has actually been leading them to a place of having a higher level of confidence than they've ever possessed before. And this can come from both sides of the coin with all of the positive experiences that they've had, and along with and coupled with the negative experiences that they've had. The negative experiences in our life are just like light and dark, right? Darkness is there to serve the light even when the darkness doesn't know it. Darkness only serves to illuminate the light, and the light is the source where all things come from. You are made of light, and that light is love. So through all of these experiences, difficult and beautiful, it has helped to shape your divine masculine and help them to become the very best version of themselves. So the karmic situation that they have been in has, even if it was hurtful and painful, it elevated your divine masculine and has given them a deeper sense of self and intuition and what they do and don't want. It's just as important to know what we don't want as it is to know what we do want. And in this greatest choose your own adventure, story that we are creating for ourselves, a lot of experiences come to us just to show us what we do not want or what we are not. If you ever had that thing that has happened in your life, whether you were the one responsible for it or somebody else that was responsible for it, that you were like, I never want to do that again. I never want to experience that again or go through that again. It serves you so well to know what you do not want so that you can focus in on the bullseye of really refining yourself and knowing what you do want and then not letting anything get in the way. We only make mistakes, not because we're dumb or stupid or bad, but to teach us, to help us understand what we do and don't want. If we hold on to guilt and shame as a result of them, then we stay stuck in the energy of what those things were. And we're meant to move on and become something greater. Okay, so toward you, Divine Feminine, there is Queen of Swords and Eight of Pentacles, both in reverse. So with Queen of Swords in reverse, we have maybe some cold energy. There was something within your divine masculine. I don't think cold, you may have experienced certain aspects of getting a cold shoulder or something at some point in time, or what felt like that to you. But really the energy of why that was happening wasn't as a result of anything specifically that you had done, but it was more that your divine masculine was confronting some of their own rigid perceptions and expectations that had come as a result of life experiences that they needed to still work through. Sometimes you can be as nice as you want to someone and you can treat them amazingly, but if they're traumatized and hurt inside, they can still turn around and be vicious and mean to you even when they love you. And it's like, well, if someone loves you, how could they be vicious and mean to you? It's because they are creating the circumstances that they are trying to avoid, because life gives us what we need in order to teach us to be in alignment with what we want. And so your divine masculine acting that way toward you was a reflection of where they were at in their journey. There was work that they needed to do, focus that they needed to put on themselves, some lack of ambition that they needed to resolve. And maybe because they loved you, they felt the need to separate themselves from you at that time in order to not hurt you, or maybe they didn't feel good enough or worthy enough at that time either. Sometimes we feel rejected by somebody, but in actuality, we weren't rejected by them. Maybe they didn't feel good enough for us. Maybe they rejected the relationship because they didn't feel that they were worthy of what you were offering. And as sad as that is, because you know it's not true, we all oftentimes suffer from those kinds of thoughts and feelings. If you guys wouldn't mind, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel to grow, and I'd love to reach as many people as we possibly can with the messages that we have. Also, we do have group call memberships if you're interested in joining our group calls, and we also have one-on-ones and personal tarot readings available if you are interested in those. The information is always in the description box beneath the video. Okay, so present situation with your Divine Masculine. We have the Sun in reverse. So there's a situation or an expectation, a desire that your Divine Masculine has that isn't happening as quickly as they would like for it to. There's a feeling of sadness and depression, that a lack mentality that they're having a difficult time letting go of. And if we are in a place of having a lack mentality, we create a lack in our material existence, because it is as within, so without. Everything that's happening outside of you is a reflection of what's going on inside of you. Even the way that you read this tarot reading right now and the way that you perceive it is a reflection of your inner state. And so how you interpret it should be looked at more than, saying this is truth and reality right here. You look at it and say, what do I believe the truth and reality is? And is that in alignment with Source? Is that in alignment with God? Is that in alignment with my soul, my higher self? That's where we want to look at things, because things can be looked at through an infinite kaleidoscope of lenses. And that's why two people can walk into a situation and come out of it with extraordinarily different perceptions. And it's because they're projecting through a filter onto the exact set of same circumstances, a completely different experience. And once you start to understand that about yourself, you can start to change your inner perspective, which will change your external reality. All right, so we have Queen of Pentacles and Five of Swords. So with Queen of Pentacles, we have some continued energy of your Divine Masculine coming to some very important and serious revelations about what it is that they truly want and desire out of a relationship, and what's really important to them. And they've started to learn with Five of Swords to put themselves first, not in a selfish way, but in a I matter as much as everyone else way. And in order to help others, I need to first be able to help myself. I need to keep my own head above water in order to be able to help others stay afloat as well. If I'm drowning with whoever it is that I'm trying to save, I'm not saving anyone. Toward you, we have 10 of Pentacles and Ace of Cups. So your Divine Masculine has always wanted to leave a legacy behind, and has maybe at times felt almost as if they've failed to do so. But in the experience that they're having with you, they're coming to the realization that everything has happened exactly as it was meant to. And even if they can't always see around the distant corners, they know that God can. And so they recognize that that's where that they need to put their faith, and that in hindsight, oftentimes when a stone on the path seems out of place, or like, like it's not supposed to be there, as we get down the path a little further and we look back in hindsight, we recognize and realize that that stone that we thought was a mistake or, misplaced, was actually exactly where it was supposed to be. And so there's like a coming to terms with past experiences that is taking place as a result of their interactions with you, Divine Feminine, and a healing that's taking place through self-acceptance and recognizing that they are already whole and complete, and that there isn't anything that's happened to them that has tarnished the purity of the soul. It's only allowed and served as experience for them in order to learn and grow and expand in consciousness. And so they have felt at times that they've let themselves down, or that they've let you down or others down. But there is a reconciliation taking place that is extraordinarily needed for your Divine Masculine through their experience with you, that is creating healing around that. And that's what's going to allow them to move on and move forward and attain out of life what it is that they truly want. All of this is for alignment. All right, in the near future. Okay, now again, this is not set in stone. As I always say, you create your future by what you do and don't consent to. So this is just, if things continue without you making a conscious effort to change, or without your Divine Masculine making a conscious effort to change, these are possible outcomes, okay? So for this, we have King of Pentacles. And King of Pentacles in reverse. So there's maybe some jealousies and some things that they have dealt with another person, that other person or they, as a result of these jealousies and these insecurities and things like that, felt that they didn't follow through with maybe certain goals and dreams and desires. Maybe they felt that this person didn't follow through with goals and dreams and desires, or they felt that it was an unreliable situation, and they have recognized at this point that it was very, very toxic, and that it's necessary to let it go. But in order to let it go, we have to allow ourselves to remedy the lessons. And so your Divine Masculine is in that place of remedying the lessons, in order to allow those lessons, the difficult aspects of it, to help them to elevate and to grow and become stronger. So that's a really wonderful indicator of a lot of personal self-work and connection to Source that's being achieved or experienced, is a better word, by your Divine Masculine at this point. In the karmic situation, we have Seven of Wands and Justice, both of which are in reverse. So, excuse me, boundaries. Your Divine Masculine has recognized that they had very, very weak boundaries, which was extremely difficult for them to face and to understand. They have felt that they stalled out. They felt that there was an energy of, I just want to give up. Maybe they felt like they just wanted to throw in the towel and give up. Maybe they stopped losing, or they stopped having faith in themselves, or maybe they even stopped having faith in something outside of themselves. However, this is serving to help them go deeper within and connect more to Source and that inner strength that is within them. Everything outside of you will always let you down. will always seem like it shifts and changes like a kaleidoscope, because it does. It's part of the material world. It's the illusion. The only truth is in the unseen, because it's the unseen that creates the seen. So with recognizing that there are these weak boundaries that they have had in the past that have resulted in a lot of difficult situations, they recognize that this didn't come from like something wrong with them. They realize that it came from a very loving place within them. Maybe they're recognizing now that they have a lot of strength just dealing with the fact that they've dealt with so many people that have maybe misused that. And it really wasn't them that had weak boundaries, but maybe it was people around them that perceived that they had weak boundaries and tried to take advantage of it. And your divine masculine is rising above that now. They are recognizing their self-value and their self-worth and aligning with that, and really just self-actualizing, coming into their own, recognizing who they really are. And that's a wonderful thing. They may have felt that, you know, that could have, or at this time they may be feeling that there's like some delays still, but that's just old energy that they're still working through. Now, toward you, there is Temperance and King of Cups, and these are both incredibly beautiful cards. Balance, harmony, patience, self-control, moderation. These are all things that are a representation of what temperance is. And this is inner alchemy, right? We have this duality right here. And it's a balance of that duality that creates, you know, the middle path or the narrow path. The one that's so difficult that, you know, most people don't find because they're stuck in these paradigms of good and evil, not recognizing that there is value in both, and that you're the alchemist that chooses the middle path. There's so many things in spirituality that point toward this. It's incredible, what you'll learn along the way, but that divine union within is what temperance stands for. And that is being achieved right now with you and your divine masculine as individuals and together. King of Cups, along with this, is that you have all the support that you need. Your divine masculine has all the support that they need along the way. Whether someone's friend or foe, believe it or not, they are the support that you have, that you've needed along the way. God's never sent you anything but angels, right? Angels is angles of light, right? We are all angles of light. We are all bent light, and we are all angels, whether we're fallen or not. We're all angels, and God sends you what you need. That's why we named our channel The Conduits, because we are the conduits. We are the ones that when we give ourselves over to the divine, we allow ourselves to be used as conduits for that greater good. You know, that to bring that love, that peace, that joy, that harmony into the world. And that really is the mission of the twin flames. And you're on it, whether you believe you're on it or not. You're already on that mission. Whether you're with your twin flame or not with your twin flame, that's all perception. That's all 3D perception, right? You're moving into a higher dimension of, you know, consciousness and knowledge and understanding and experience. And it's a beautiful thing. So you and your divine masculine are in an extraordinarily beautiful place together at this point. Again, it's not necessarily about physical union. It's about inner union, divine union with source. And you and your divine masculine are achieving that, even when it feels like you're not. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to get you an oracle card. Give me just a quick second to grab it. And I think I will use my elemental oracle today. Let's use this. So if you guys have questions or you need anything, please go ahead and ask in the comments section below. For short questions, I can oftentimes answer short questions through our email, which is also listed below. Our website, all of the things that you would need are always in the description box. But for short questions, sometimes we can't answer them through email. Anything longer that needs more of an explanation would require either group calls or a one-on-one. But I just want you to know that there is that availability. We will have a coupon code below as well for discounts on all of these services. Not the group calls, but everything else. We'll have a discount code for Christmas and the New Year to celebrate that. So right now is a good time if you are interested in purchasing. So interesting, I was looking at this tree of life. You know, it was Jesus who said that he saw men as trees. And interestingly, when you start to understand certain aspects of spirituality, you realize that, you know, within you, you have these 12 cranial nerves, right? There's 12 zodiacs. There's, 12 disciples. There's so many others that I could list off. But these all have a representation of the powers that are within you, right? And also the experience of humanity, right? You are a soul having a human experience, and you are rooted in the earth, but you also are in the heavens above, just like a tree. And your nervous system even looks like a tree if you look at it that way. There's a lot more that I could go into with that. But the tree of life has so much significance. You are that tree of life, and it is all inside of you. It's all within you. So let's see what this has to say. Rock. Rock. Endurance. Look for the groundedness in a chaotic situation. Be patient, slow, and steady is the way to success. The obstacle is sometimes the way through. Do not be discouraged by slow progression, as long as progression is being made. The word of power for this is potentia, which in Latin means endure. Everyone knows a rock when they see it, although most of us do not notice much about them. There are three kinds of rocks: igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary. Rocks are a key component of the Earth's outer solid layer, the crust. The mining of rocks for human use has existed since prehistoric times. Rocks for building, metal ore and gemstone, metal ore and gemstone content are but a few reasons they are mined at the scales they are. Rocks can be shaped over time by elements such as water and wind. River rocks, for example, because of the erosion effects of the water, become smoothly shaped with no corners. On a huge scale, canyons, such as the Grand Canyon, were worn down by water and wind, yet they endure. In cultures that have a deep spiritual belief in the connectedness of everything and a close association with the land itself, rocks are as alive as any animal or human. The rocks in these frameworks have stories to tell and lessons to teach. Some are used in painting, some to hold sacred tracts of water, and in ochre painting of the body to reinforce the dances and the spiritual rituals of the culture. You are all of the elements. You are made of earth. You are made of fire, which is the, nervous system that you have right here. You are also made of air. You breathe it in order to survive. And you are also made of water. But you have the fifth element as well, which is spirit. And so you embody all these things. You are the embodiment of that. And everything in this world is alive when you recognize that you are one with all of it. it all exists within you. What appears outside of you actually exists within you. And you're experiencing it from that pinpoint. You never actually... Oh, well, that's for another story. We'll do a video about that. That's a little too complicated to go into right now. But you are all these elements. You are an incredible manifestation. You are divine. Don't ever let anything tell you that you are anything other than that. Go within. Recognize that God exists within you and that there is nothing more important or more powerful than that. I love you guys. Appreciate you all so much. Thank you so much for supporting us and being here with us. And I look forward to talking with you again soon. Take care.